Hello everyone, this is Miss Shrewsbury. I'm going to talk you guys through your Term 6 dance coursework that links to Component 2. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get access to the OneDrive. If you aren't sure on how to access it, if you go on your school emails, you were sent an email around the 20th of March and it has a link that takes you straight to the OneDrive and where you can find all of your school resources. So when you get on there, you can click a course on your year group, which is Year 10. It'll then bring up all your subjects. You can scroll down to dance. Click on Year 10 again. And then we're going to look at Term 6 work. So click on Term 6 folder. And then this is all the work and help sheets you need to complete your Term 6 work. This file here is dance classes and performances. That's just a document I've created to help you have access to dance classes and live performances so that you can have access to at home if you fancied watching any of them. So that's not to do with your coursework, but it can help you keep the technique up and have more access to dance at home. So the first document you are going to want to download is the Term 6 Dance Work Instructions and Information Sheet. This document tells you exactly what you've got to do. So it'll come up like this. I have zoomed in so that it's easier for you guys to see. So like I said, it's about Component 2, which we did start doing, and it's about learning aim B and C. Learning aim B is about learning two pieces of professional repertoire. One's a group piece and one's a solo piece. Now both pieces I have selected can be performed as solos, but also can be performed as groups as well. So if we can potentially film you guys when you come back, then we might be able to have that as a group piece, as you can all do it together. And social distance at the same time, because the pieces are quite easy to make into a group piece. So the piece of dance that we're looking at is Rosa Dance Rosa, and it's by Anna Teresa de Keersmaker, and she created this dance quite a while ago, but it's still quite used in popular culture today. Beyonce even got caught ripping this performance video off in one of her music videos. I think it's for Countdown. So if you want to research into that, that'd be pretty cool as well, for you to kind of see the links between them. The two pieces that I picked is a sequence piece, which is based on the floor. It's a floor piece, but you don't need that much space, so it's still ideal to be able to do in like your bedroom or outside in your garden. And a chair piece, so all you need is a chair, which I'm guessing you all have access to at home. Now these numbers beside them tell you exactly where in the YouTube clip to find that sequence. But I have also downloaded and put the specific sequences in this OneDrive as well, so you can just click on these and it gives you the exact sequence. As you go down, you will find tasks. I have tried to split this up into short and simple tasks as much as I can. So first of all, you can learn the two sequences. The floor sequence, has 4 dancers and they're all doing exactly the same movements. All you need to do is copy that movement. For the chair sequence, there are a few dancers, but they're all at different times, move at different times. So we're going to focus on the front dancer who has short red hair. If you can learn at least one of these, that would be brilliant. If you can learn both, that'd be fantastic. What you're going to do after that, when you've learned the movement, you're going to film yourself doing the two sequences. This is so that you can identify your strengths and weaknesses in the performances. And the performance doesn't have to be perfect, it's just to give you a rough idea of what you need to work on and what you're doing really well at. With the filming, you can get a family member to film you, or if you can, you might be able to film yourself just by putting your camera on something to allow it to stand up while you're filming. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to start to complete the target and review booklet. You have seen this before. We have used it briefly in dance before, so you should kind of know what it looks like. So you are going to, based on your videos and as well as what you personally think about your own technique, you are going to either put a tick or colour a box in for each of these performance techniques. Now remember, the one box represents that you're not very good at it, and 4 represents how good you're at it. So with 4, I expect it to be your coordination should be perfect, there should be barely any mistakes, and that is on point. So I have done an example for this for you. So as you can see, I've chosen to just use a black filter to colour in the squares to highlight what I think I'm good at and what I think I'm not so good at. Your next task is to identify your strengths and weaknesses in the based on your table. So 4 strengths and 4 weaknesses. So based on this, I can tell that learning repertoire is a very big strength of mine. So that'll be one of my strengths, and then I'll pick 3 from the 3 column to fill in the other 3 strengths. For my weaknesses, I'll pick all the ones that are in number 1, and then I'll pick one of the ones in number 2 that I think I might need to work on a bit more. And then I'll complete my strengths and weaknesses. Now, I've only completed one of each just as an example for you, but in your document you do have 4 strengths to fill out and 4 weaknesses to fill out, as you can see. So, from my strength, I put about learning repertoire, and I said how I find it easy to pick up the movement after a couple of goes through it, and that I can mentally and physically know the movement. So in my head, if I go through the movement, I know exactly what comes after the other, as well as when I do it physically, I know exactly how to do the movement and I know which movement comes after the other. And I've also been specific to which sequence I focused on in terms of it, so I wrote about floor sequence movement. One of the weaknesses that I put was my flexibility. I put that I do not have great flexibility and I find it more difficult to perform some of the movement fully. And then I put an example. So for example, in the chair sequence, due to low flexibility in my back, I find it hard to turn around to face the back of the room quickly. And when you watch the video, you will see what part of the dance I'm referring to there. Your next task is to identify 3 short terms and 1 long term that you want to achieve by the time you get back to school in September, or just after you come back into school in September, fingers crossed, that goes to plan. So your short-term goals on the next page. You need 3 goals that are short-term. So short-term is referring to a couple of weeks you want to be able to achieve it by, and then a long-term is pretty much 2 to 3 months. Again, I have done an example for you, so you kind of understand what sort of description length you need to go into. So stage present I've put as my short-term goal. I've explained my goal in more detail. So currently when I'm dancing, I do not connect with my audience, which helps to draw the audience into my performance and to get them to connect with the dance. So that's all about my stage presence and connecting with the audience. I'm currently not doing. And then broke it down into a few little points about how I'm going to achieve this goal. So one way I'm going to try and achieve this goal is by watching myself back more in videos to see how my stage presence is currently and determine how I can improve it. I'm also going to practice in front of a mirror to help me observe my stage presence throughout my performance, and I'm also going to ask for peer feedback. Now with peer feedback, you can send myself or other dancers on the course your videos, and they can do a peer feedback form for you, and you can use that as evidence as you achieving the goal. So my goal set was to develop stage presence, and my achieved by is 2 weeks. So both in 2 weeks I'm going to show development towards that. Then my long-term goal is flexibility. So I've focused on saying that my aim is to improve my flexibility, and I'm going to focus mainly on my legs and back, as I feel like these are the areas that I lack the most flexibility and range of movement in. So I've even narrowed it and specifically focused on areas of my body that I think need greater development more than others. How I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to do weekly yoga sessions to make sure I complete complete a full stretch workout before I take part in any dance classes. So that's going to help increase my flexibility, as yoga is a great way of increasing flexibility and also core strength. And I've also put I'm going to do different stretches every night to help develop my flexibility. So my goal set is to increase my range of movement / flexibility, and I want to achieve that within 2 to 3 months, as this will take quite a few weeks before I even notice my flexibility increasing. So that's an example of a short-term goal, and that's an example of a long-term goal. The next thing you're going to do is carry out your weekly reviews. But whilst you're doing that, you are also going to complete a component 2 PowerPoint. Now I've created a template for you, and this component 2 PowerPoint presentation is for you to research the dance piece Rosa Dance Rosa that we're basing our sequences on, and the choreographer and Teresa de Maker. This is what the PowerPoint looks like. So it goes on about the choreographer, so and Teresa de Maker, where you've got to answer these questions: where did she study? What is her dance company called? What is her choreographic practices? Who has inspired her? And list as many possible pieces she has worked on. Then we break it down onto the actual choreography you are learning. You've already got the YouTube link as well, so you can watch the full video if you wish. What are the main characteristics of the piece? List them. What are the main types of movement in the piece? List them. Then again, we're going to look at what are the main themes of the piece and what choreographic devices can you see in the piece. So again, you'll need to watch the video. Remember, choreographic devices, we focused on a lot in component 1 as well. And these are the things that help develop a dance. So it could be repetition, it could be a floor, it could be travel, things like that. Plus you can always do a quick Google search if you forget what choreographic devices are. You can just search them on Google and it will let you know. So the people who had the work sent home, this PowerPoint was not able to be sent to you as I was very limited on what I could send home, so I focused mainly on learning the sequences and completing the target and review booklet. So it's okay if you can't complete this, but all the information you need for component 2 PowerPoint can be found on that dance work instruction information sheet. If you scroll down past the tasks, I have completed a load of information on this document for you to do with the actual choreographer, which is right here, and also the dance itself. So all you have to do is sift through this information and put the information into the PowerPoint underneath the correct question. So all the information you need is in this document. So you don't even have to really research anything. I've done the research for you. You just need to sift through it and find the information you need. So like I said, whilst you're completing this PowerPoint, whilst you're completing the rest of your target review booklet, which is about your weekly reviews. There are 8 weekly reviews you need to do. The first 6 I want you to do on a weekly basis, so once a week. You can complete what your target was, techniques you worked on, your goal, what task you completed, what progress you feel like you've made, the things you still need to work on, and complete 3 action points. Again, I have done an example of a weekly review for you. So I put my weekly target was to improve my stage presence. The techniques I'm working on is eye contact with the audience and over-exaggeration of gestures towards the audience. Again, I have taken this basically from what my short-term goal was. And then my overall goal was to make my performance connect more with my audience. That was my focus. So these are the tasks I have set myself. So I wanted to work through the dance and find specific moments in the piece where I can really allow connection to my audience through eye contact and gestures, and peer feedback. Again, I have taken this pretty much from my short-term goal and just tweaked it and made it a bit more specific. What progress have you made this week? So this is after I've completed a few sessions on that focus, a few dance sessions that focus on what my goal is. So once I've completed these tasks pretty much, and I have identified key areas within my dance where having good eye contact with the audience can enhance my performance. I have received feedback from my peers that tell me my stage presence has improved as they felt I connected with the audience more through my movement and through my eye contact. I feel that by trying to focus on where my eye contact is and gesturing towards the audience, it has helped me to connect more with my movement and has made me connect more emotionally with the piece. What do you still need to work on? I put about continue to develop my stage presence and continue to really focus on audience connection when improving performance, as it is a great way to help the audience connect with the story, theme or emotion that the piece is based on. I've also put I wanted to continue to film myself, as it can help me see how I am performing the dance already and make conclusions more on what part of the piece I need to focus more on. And then I've created my 3 action points, knowing where in the space I need to focus on during the whole dance. So I'm not just looking forward, am I looking at my hand, am I looking at to a certain corner, am I looking at the back, being really specific. And then using eye contact to connect my movement, as it focuses the audience more on that particular move, which can help connect them more to the theme or the story. So like I said, am I looking at my hand? Am I getting the audience to focus on that hand? Am I doing something that will help entice them into the story I'm trying to tell more? And then my next one is to try not to fidget with my hair and clothing, as it makes me break character and can make the audience focus more on those fidgets than the actual dance itself. So it can be fairly off-putting for an audience to see a dancer playing with their hair or clothing, as it breaks the character you're trying to portray. So that's something I felt I needed to work on. Like I said, there are 8 targets, weekly reviews, and 6 of them I want you to do on a weekly, and they're based on mainly your short-term goals. Now the last 2, 7 and 8, which is your final task, is I want you to complete them every 2-3 weeks, and I want you to focus on your long-term goal. So mine would be flexibility. So over a 4 to 6 week period, I would be doing flexibility training, completing yoga sessions, and reflecting on that constantly to see if my flexibility is improving, or if there's other areas that I feel I need to increase my flexibility as well that I didn't notice before. I hope that has explained what you've got to do. The main focus is on learning the dance pieces, sequences, and getting that target and review booklet completed. Even if it means you only get halfway through it, you can still continue to complete that in September, whether we're back at school or still doing home learning. I hope you stay safe. Bye.